Superheroes. Timeless in all of pop culture. But here's a superhero film I doubt you've probably seen. What is this film? This film is the 2004 flick by Guillermo del Toro called Hellboy, based on the comic books. So the movie begins in 1944, where a group of people with the military discover the Nazis doing an occult. I think it was an occult? I don't know. So then those dudes from the military trash this whole thing up. Because they're trying to bring monsters from another dimension to win the war. We all know how that kind of thing goes. You'd do it too, wouldn't you? So after they're done trashing everything up, one of the guys is very much convinced that something got out. And he was right. So the guy who found it decides to become its daddy and gives it the name of, wait for it, Hellboy. Because that's an appropriate name for a child. See how nice these guys are? Okay, 60 years later, there's now an organization called the BPRD, the Bureaucracy of Paranormal Research and Defense, which basically means they fight monsters. So then this nerd named Myers comes here because he was hired, I think. I can't remember at the moment. So after his introduction, we are introduced to our first paranormal character that is not Hellboy. Meet Abe Sapien.
Please. The pages.
So after his introduction, we're introduced to full-grown Hellboy, who in human years is 60, but like the weird dog years, he is 20 now. Because why not? So anyway, this alarm goes off, which means there's a monster.
Hey. They're playing our song.
If I could tell the future, I'd warn Hellboy that this goes horribly wrong. You'll see in moments.
Hey, Stinky! Kitchen's closed. Man, you're gonna need some heavy fiber to move that out.
So one thing leads to another, and then... This leads him to meet our main villain, whose name I can't remember, so for the time being, I'll call him Draco Malfoy.
All grown up, I see.
That voice.
It was the first lullaby you ever...
This guy was actually in the opening, which is a plot point I forgot to discuss. But he actually died in that opening. Should be dead, but he's not. Anyway, back to the monster. So one thing leads to another, and then it resurrects itself into two. Because it can do that, and that's totally fair. So then Hellboy goes to this girl he likes named Liz Sherman and offers only the most flattering drink possible for this reuniting moment.
I brought beer.
Anyway, Liz has got a little power of her own. Amateur VFX. Like baby Hellboy. So anyway, Hellboy gets into another fight with the same monster in the subway.
Oh.
And ends up seeing a box full of kitties. Because people just carry those around. Then Liz goes out with Myers from earlier, the guy who I don't like, to Hellboy's dismay, which leads him to follow them, and which leads him to a therapy session with a 9-year-old.
Go there and tell her how you feel.
Look, it's not that easy, okay? Plus, you're 9. You're not old enough to be giving me advice.
And Hellboy's dad gets a vision that Hellboy is supposed to bring about the end of the world. And then dies. At least he dies an hour and 20 minutes in, and not like in the books when he died in... Hold on, let me go. Wait, I can't count. Can you, 1, 5, 2, 9, 15. 15! Sad. So then the gang heads up to Siberia to, defeat the bad guy.
This better be the place where I'll puke.
And then they gang up with the dead guy. I wish I was joking.
Say hi, Ivan.
And that's where the title of the video came from. So then they go through a labyrinth full of traps, and then the dead guy they just got becomes a dead guy again. So then Hellboy kills one of the villains.
That's all for you, Pinhead.
Then gets smoking advice.
You never light a cigar that way. You use a wooden match.
Smoking for the win. So then they get to the bad guy, stab him, and then a monster comes out of him, which was inside of him all along, and I did not notice that. So then Hellboy gets some grenades, gets eaten by the monster, and blows it up from the inside. Ends with a kiss, annoying narration from Myers, and closes. Okay, so I'd like to announce a few changes. Editor Bob is going to take over these movie videos from now. They're also going to be changed to film recaps because I don't review my opinion much in the videos. And the Hellboy videos, I have 2 other ones planned, will now be taken over by Bob Sapien, who was like Abe Sapien, but he's Bob.